Has generated billions of streams, earned dozens of gold and multi-platinum certifications around the world. She is a Grammy and Juno winner. Alessia Cara, very pleased to meet you.
Thank you. Great to meet you too. Thanks for taking the time.
I guess 2025 has kicked off to be a busy one for you.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Off the bat, it was busy, but I'm excited. Have been sitting on this music for a while, so it's nice to be back.
So, where are you talking to me from?
I'm talking to you from Toronto, Ontario, which is where I live. So it's good to be home, get situated before the craziness of the world tour. I'm holding on to these moments.
Absolutely. So, where is your first stop?
Our first stop now is going to be in Shanghai. We had a whole US tour planned before that, which unfortunately got pushed. So now we're starting in Asia, which is actually going to be really cool to kind of start with a bang, in like the farthest part of the world. It'll be really cool.
Have you ever been there before?
I've only been to Japan and Singapore. I've never been to China. So definitely not Shanghai. I'm very excited. I feel like it's going to be like insane.
A total girl question for you. How do you even begin to pack for something like that?
Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, it's so hard. It's so hard because first of all, I don't even know like what the weather's like over there because I've never been there. So packing for different weather is going to be challenging. What things do I bring? How many shoes do I bring? Hair products. There's like so much to think about. So yeah, I don't know. I honestly have to start figuring it out because I feel like it's going to take me a few days.
Yeah, and you're leaving, isn't it? Aren't you going to be there on like the 20th or something? No.
The 26th.
Okay. All right. So
So
you've got a bit of time.
I got a little bit of time, yeah. So I'm trying to figure out what to do and what to pack.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations on your new song, Fire.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about the song.
Well, I wrote this song a while ago now. I think it was in 2022. So I've had it for a minute and it's a very different song for me, I think sonically and lyrically too. It's honestly just a love letter and a song about just like jumping into something without having any fears or inhibitions or worrying too much about the outcome, which is something that I tend to do a lot. And so it was nice for me to just like experience something a little bit different and be in the moment in something. So I wanted to capture it in a song, and that's what the song is.
And that was going to be my next question. So, I mean, you have been professionally making music since when? 2015?
I guess officially, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so that's what I was going to ask is how things have evolved for you as an artist over the last decade. Because I mean, when you really kind of came onto the music scene, let's be honest, I mean, you were really young, right? So how do things change from then until now?
They've changed quite a bit. I mean, I started this when I was 18. I'm 28 now. At the time I was a teenager entering my 20s, and now I'm, a 20 something entering my 30s soon. And that's, that whole decade is a huge change and a huge growth period. So I think just as a person, I don't know, just learned so much. Those are like such formative years for me. I think I'm just a lot better at being present now and staying true to myself and knowing when to put up boundaries a little bit for my own mental health. I think growing up, you just want to read every single comment and just make sure that everybody likes you. And I think I'm just less concerned with that now, just because I have a better foundation in who I am and in my life. There's more tools in place in my life to like navigate this world a little bit better.
When it comes to your mental health and just, your general well-being, do you find that writing songs and making music really assists in that?
Definitely, yeah. It's always been something that's helped keep me on the ground a little bit emotionally. It's just helpful when you're able to like get a feeling out of your body. And for me, I'm not always good at expressing my emotions through talking, like just in everyday conversation. I find that like, I don't know, I'm able to write about my feelings easier. And so it helps me sort of analyze what I'm feeling and helps other people understand what I'm feeling when I'm able to put it into a song for some reason. So it's really helpful.
What are you hoping that your fans and the audience will take away from Fire?
Um, I mean, I hope that they just, like it in general. Whether they're in a relationship or not, I hope that they can take something from it and take something from the sentiment of just like jumping into things and not worrying so much about the outcome or potentially failing. I think if we focus too much on the end result, then maybe we'll hold ourselves back. And it's kind of like that quote of like, what would you do if fear was out of the picture? If the feeling fear didn't exist, what do you think that you would do? And then do that. Sometimes we just got to think that way. So I hope that, even if it's not pertaining to love in their life, they can just take that sentiment and apply it to anything that they might be scared of jumping into.
Let's talk about your new album, Love and Hyperbole. I love
Yes.
the title.
Thank you.
And that came out on Valentine's Day. Was that on purpose?
It was on purpose. I mean, it was something that I wasn't expecting to happen because I initially wanted to put the album out in the fall. And then I realized there just wasn't enough time and I wanted to like let everything breathe. And so when I was thinking of, okay, like what's a good day in the new year to put it out, we realized that, February 14th was there. It was on a Friday. It was perfect. It was like perfectly aligned. There's 14 songs on the album as well. So it just felt like a kind of serendipitous moment. And what better day to put out an album about love than on the day of love. So it worked out.
I know that you had a guitar solo on there from a certain John Mayer.
Yes.
Did you actually get to work with him? Like, were you getting to be in the studio together, or yeah, you were? Okay. Tell us a little
Yeah.
bit about that.
Yes, yeah. So I was in the studio with him, which was so cool. And it's not something that happens a lot in like modern day music making. I think a lot is done remotely. And so it was so cool to be able to like sit in front of him and watch him create. It's one of the coolest experiences of my life. I remember the producer Jakob and I left that session just like we weren't able to talk for like 2 minutes. We were just like we were just speechless. We couldn't even say anything to each other because we were like can't believe that just happened. It was very emotionally fulfilling and really cool.
I think I read somewhere too that he's one of your musical inspirations.
Yeah, he is. I think he's one of the greatest lyricists of this generation or of his generation. And he inspired me a ton growing up. I think he says things in the most perfect way all the time. It's like frustrating, as a writer, because it's like, he said it so perfectly. So he's always inspired me. And even just as a musician, I think his sonic language is so brilliant and singular. So that it was really cool to like have his little stamp.
Who is somebody else that maybe musically you look up to?
So many people. Amy Winehouse was a huge inspiration for me growing up. I just think in who she was and the integrity that she had and her voice was so raw and beautiful. So she always inspired me. But I'm inspired by so many people, specifically women. Like I love Stevie Nicks, Lauryn Hill, Erica Badu, Sade. Um, Artists that were just like fearlessly themselves and just they had like a little bit of grit to them. I always thought they were just the coolest. So those are some of many.
So let's talk a little bit again about your tour. This is the biggest tour of your career so far. How many dates are there?
Oh my gosh, there's so many shows. Honestly, I have to count the new ones because now we're doing the US tour. Hopefully, I want to add some more dates in different parts of the world. Don't quote me just in case, but I'm really trying to add some more dates. So it's indefinite. But it certainly is the broadest that I've gone on any tour of my own. Like we're hitting Asia, Australia, Europe. Like this is going to be definitely the biggest geography wise tour that I've done. I think the amount of shows is probably less than what I've done in the past, but in terms of like geography, it's the broadest. So very excited.
What's that like being home for long or away from home for long periods of time?
I mean, it's always challenging. I think it gets like more and more challenging the more I, like live on my own and build my own space. I think like I have my own apartment, so I like decorated it all. I have my routine here. I have my dog now. I have more to miss when I'm when I'm away, which is always like, increasingly challenging the older I get and the more I have to lose back home. But I think also like to some degree I'm used to it. And I think it's just about maintaining balance, like just calling my parents more, keeping in contact. FaceTime is a savior. And trying my best to like make tour and like bus life feel like home, bringing a lot of things from back home and developing a routine is makes it easier.
Well, you're going to be coming to Roy Thompson Hall in Toronto May 15th. So your Toronto fans are probably pretty excited about that.
I
And
can't wait.
is there something different about playing close to home too, where it feels like, right?
Definitely, for sure. It feels the most fulfilling, of course, like to play for your hometown. It's also admittedly the scariest, just because, I mean, partly because so many people I know are going to be there, like friends, family, all these people that you want to make proud are like watching you, which is scary. But there's just something about like wanting to make your hometown proud that feels a little bit more nerve-wracking than other shows. So I think I'm going to be like secretly the most nervous for Toronto.
Well, we are very excited to see you. Congratulations. Fire is out now, and Love and Hyperbole is the album. And good luck on your tour, Alessia. It was really nice to meet you.
Thank you so much. It was great talking with you. Thank you.